Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a throwaway account in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, "I overheard my boyfriend say that he chose the wrong girl." For context, my boyfriend and I have been together for a total of 8 years. We met through mutual friends while I was still in school and he had just moved to my town to go to college. We were friends for 2 years before we started dating. The reason for this was first that I was too scared to make a move, and secondly, he was in love with one of our mutual friends. After she got a boyfriend, he moved on to liking me, and we have been dating ever since. Last Saturday was his birthday, and he told me he had never had a surprise birthday party and would like to experience one. I worked all week before Saturday, his birthday, planning and inviting people, getting reservations, buying a cake, etc. I asked his best friend to hang out with him for most of the day so that I could set up and get everyone here to hide for the surprise. The birthday party was a success and he was smiling the whole time. He had snuck off with his best friend somewhere and I wanted to find him so that we could sing happy birthday and cut the cake. As I was walking down the hallway, I heard him and his friend talking, so I kept walking toward their voices. I heard him tell his friend that he should have kept trying with our mutual friend. He said that he should have been the man engaged to her and not her current fiance. He said that he hated waking up to me and that he wished our mutual friend was the one who had thrown him his first surprise party. He said that he felt disgusted every time he had to kiss me or hold me because he knew that our mutual friend should be in his arms instead. He said that he felt like he was stuck in our relationship and that he would end up having to marry me. He also said that our mutual friend was better than me in looks from head to toe and that she was the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen. I went back to the party and told everyone that I couldn't find him and that we would have to wait for him to come back. When he returned, he gave me a hug and a kiss on the head and told me he loved me. I didn't want to ruin his party, so I went along with it. He doesn't know that I know he doesn't honestly love me. I've just been going along with everything. I honestly don't want to break up with him. I just want to know how I can make him fall in love with me. I don't know what I did to make him feel so unhappy, so I would like to know, how do I make my boyfriend fall in love with me, or should I just give up on our relationship? He is the first boyfriend I've ever had, and I'm scared to start dating again at my age. A user named Weepy Crybaby said, "Oh girl, if I had stayed with the dropkick I was with at 25, I'd be freaking miserable. 25 is not too late to start dating again. You deserve way more than this disrespect. Call him out on it, watch his face, then leave. You cannot make someone love you, and someone who loves you will never say the things you heard." In response, a user named Natural Sky said they wouldn't even think it, let alone say it. This really breaks my heart for her, but I hope she has the strength and self-respect to leave his sorry ass. He is seriously sick in the head. Who lives a complete lie for 8 years, is literally repulsed by their partner, but still lies and smiles in their face. Another user named Revolutionary Help said, "You can't make him love you. He doesn't and he won't. You need to break up. You are still young. You will find the right guy for you. Don't waste any more time on him now that you know the truth. You have now heard his truth, spoken behind your back. He doesn't love or want you. You cannot unhear this. You deserve someone who loves you. He is not the one for you. One day he will leave you. It's just a matter of time. Either she will become available or someone like her will enter his life and you will be tossed aside. Imagine being 35 or 45 and he tells you, 'Sorry, I've met the one I want to spend the rest of my life with.' Don't be that 45-year-old woman, possibly with kids, wondering how to get yourself back on your feet on your own while he happily skips into the sunset with another woman. Please pack your things and dump him. Just tell him you heard him. You deserve and will find someone who will love you. Don't argue, don't accept his lies. If necessary, leave him a note saying you heard. Tell him not to contact you, it's over. Then block him from your phone and social media, unfollow and unfriend him. Keep in mind the following: it's not you, he doesn't love you. You've done nothing wrong. He is just in love with someone else. You can't do anything to make him love you. Dump him. Any guy who would use you and say you disgust him, that man is trash. Even worse, he lies to your face and talks rubbish about you to his friends. Dump him. You need to treat him like the rubbish human he is. We don't keep trash, we don't treasure it, we throw it out. You deserve better. Way better. Someone will love and value you. It is not this lying, self-centered piece of rubbish pretending to be your boyfriend. This next post was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Another Freddy Krueger. The post is titled, "I didn't back up my wife when our son said she's no longer his mother. Hi, so I think my wife is single-handedly the cause of all her problems. I'm done pretending I'm at fault. I'm kind of done with her in general, and I see divorce on the horizon like a bright sunrise. TLDR, my wife said she regretted marrying me, she regretted getting pregnant, and wished she had gotten an abortion. Our son heard and told her, 'Fine, you're no longer my mother, go fuck yourself.' Personally, I think you shouldn't say things you don't mean if you're not ready to accept the consequences. So my wife and I got together in college, things were fine, and I proposed when I was 23 and she was 22. People might say that's young, and yeah, probably, but we didn't get married until we were 25 and 26. She got pregnant at 24 and we had a son. I want to say I didn't force her to have him. I told her I'd love to have a child. Personally, I was ready, but if she wanted to wait a bit, I was okay with that too. She chose to go through with the pregnancy. We started getting ready for the baby, and I told her that because of our living situation, if she wanted, she could go back to work and continue her career. We could afford a long-term babysitter. Our living situation was that my aunt and uncle are successful, and they own a second home where we live. We just pay bills like electricity and such. Not bad at all, so we have extra cash. She said no, she wanted to stay with our son and be a SAHM. Sure, I didn't care, I'm fine with that. Bond with our baby. Well, she got PPD and didn't bond with the baby. I told her to go to therapy because this wasn't gonna fly. Me bringing in 100% of the money, me paying 100% of the bills, me taking care of our baby 100% of the time that I'm at home. She didn't want to work and she refused to care for the baby, so I had to get a babysitter every day, Monday through Friday anyway. I was sympathetic at first. I get it. Having a baby is difficult. But after 2 years of that, you start resenting them for not doing anything and refusing to get help. There was constant fighting about her doing nothing and how I'm tired of being with her. I told her at one point it was either get help or I'm divorcing her, and she can go back to live with her parents at the age of 27, which they've made it clear they won't be happy with. She went back to work, but not in her college degree career. No, she chose to work at the local cigarette shop. At this point, I just didn't care. It was something good enough. I just became indifferent. We stopped being intimate. We stopped talking about anything other than our son. We're basically roommates. That's our marriage. He's now 17. My wife and I got into it because I told her I'm done. Completely done. Our son is almost 18. He's preparing himself for college, which is completely paid for by me and his grandparents, and when he's gone, I'm gone. She freaked out and told me I'm worthless. She wishes she never met me. She hates that she got pregnant and wishes she had aborted our son when I told her she could. He overheard and he came out and yelled at her, telling her, "Fine, have it your way. You're not my mother anymore. Go fuck yourself." Well, in my opinion, you reap what you sow. She's now upset that he wants nothing to do with her. It's been 2 months and he does not talk to her or interact with her in any way. He works a part-time job. He buys everything he needs. He has his own car and he doesn't need her for anything. If he needs something, he asks me for extra cash or help with his car, things like that. But he avoids her like the plague. She's pissed at me and wants me to make him talk to her, and I said that she and I are done, which I've made clear. I don't know what she's expecting from me, but if he's also done, then maybe she shouldn't say things she doesn't mean. If he wants to forgive her, then he can, but I'm not going to make him or even suggest that he should. He's old enough to make his own decisions and understand his feelings. I'd be hurt if my parents said that about me. I don't know if I'm the asshole. If I am, then it is what it is, but I guess I want an outside opinion. I'm not willing to do anything different, but I just want to know because her friends have been harassing me, saying I'm a shit husband. In the comments, a user named LulaMLB said NTA, but please just divorce her already and kick her out of your uncle's house. I grew up with parents who were more like roommates than a couple, indifferent most of the time, explosively hostile at others. Close this chapter and open a new one. Also, get therapy for yourself and your son. You will both need it. In response, a user named The Laughing Hackerman said, agreed. One thing to consider is that parents who stay together solely for the kids essentially teach those kids how not to have healthy relationships with their partners. Your son will more than likely need a lot of therapy in the future for his own relationships. Another user named Tishers said NTA. She is the one who said all of the hurtful things. That is on her. I understand your son's position. He is not in the wrong. Just keep a strong relationship with your son and let him know that you never regretted having him as your child. Her friends can go piss up a rope. Under this comment, OP said the following: "My son and I are close. I told him I've always wanted him and am proud of who he's becoming as a man. I did make it clear that his feelings are his own. If he ever does forgive his mother, then that's great. If not, that's okay as well. It's his life. Despite what she thinks, I'm not encouraging his behavior, but I don't disagree with it either." This next post was made in the same subreddit by a user named Aggravating Start. The post is titled, "I threw my pregnant Sill's groceries away." Hello, this is a throwaway account and a repost/update of sorts because my post got taken down from the other sub. My brother and his wife Laura, who is 7 months pregnant, are staying with us for a week or so since he's interviewing for jobs in the city my family and I are in. My kids love having their aunt and uncle around, and everything's been great. Yesterday, Laura went out and came back with groceries. I thanked her but told her that we don't expect them to do this. The kitchen is stocked and we're just enjoying having them. She said she wanted to and that most of the groceries were cravings she's been having. I started helping her unload the bags and noticed that a lot of the snacks contained peanuts, cookies, crackers, peanut butter, even some sort of cake fusion. It all made me uneasy because she knows my oldest son, 8M, is extremely allergic. I don't keep anything of the kind in our home because we had an incident when he was younger where we almost lost him. I didn't want to be rude, but I told her that I'm not comfortable having that stuff in the house. She told me she would be careful, wouldn't eat it around him or his siblings, and would clean up after herself, that she was having intense cravings and needed them. Look, I've had 4 kids and kind of get where she's coming from, although I never had to have something, but every woman is different. I made sure my son knew not to touch any of it and to leave her alone when she was eating those things. That was that. Today, I woke up early to make breakfast and opened the fridge only to be greeted by strawberries dipped in peanut butter left out without a container to chill. The peanut butter jar wasn't sealed properly next to them and there were sandwiches on a plate because she likes the bread cold and soggy. I was pissed. I've read enough about airborne contamination to know that you can't really determine it, but I wasn't risking it. I grabbed a bag and started throwing everything in it. Our groceries, hers, I didn't care. I was going to take the bag, drive to a shelter, and let them know the situation. Laura woke up while I was on my rampage, came down, and asked, all upset, what I was doing. I was snippy with her and didn't try to hide it. We got in an argument, with her defensively saying that I can't do this, that the baby needs it, and that it's cruel to put a pregnant woman through unsatisfied cravings. I told her bluntly that I don't give a single fuck. If she can't keep to her word, then I won't either, and that she'll live without her craving. My son can't say the same with his allergy. She went back upstairs, packed her bag, came back down, grabbed the bag of food, and left in a huff. My brother was at his interview and called me half an hour later to ask what happened. He was upset with his wife, but also with me because nothing happened, and at the end of the day, my son is fine. I told my husband when he came back from work, and he's completely on my side. Mini update. Like some people had predicted in the comments on the other sub, Laura did go straight to my family and started complaining. She hadn't twisted anything. She told them the full honest story, and my mother was livid. She called me panting like she'd run a marathon after she berated Laura to make sure my son is okay, so I can only imagine the riot act she read her. Apparently, even my stepdad gave Laura one of his disapproving frowns. My brother came back in the evening to get his stuff since Laura had only packed hers for some reason. He did apologize for what she did and said that he'll have a chat with her once she's calmed down. She's been inconsolable. He told me that she's been crying since she left my mom's house and that she now feels unwelcome and unloved in our family, and he blames me for it. My husband butted in and told him that it's enough. That whatever she's feeling doesn't cover half of what we felt, and that she needs to get over herself. He said, I've been scrubbing the house from top to bottom for hours because of her actions. I did get panicky and went on to deep clean the whole house, especially the kitchen, but anyway, my brother left after saying there's no leveling with us when we're being this stubborn. Now that I've had time to get out of the state I was in, I do feel bad that she's distressed and feels unwelcome in our family. That was never my goal. I've been debating sending her an apology, not for my actions because I stand by them, but for the way I went about it. I shouldn't have allowed the stuff in our house in the first place, and I could have been calmer about it after I opened the fridge. A lot of people asked me to update, so here it is. Warning, this is a long one, and if I wasn't in the wrong before, I sure am now. After my mom berated Laura and my brother yelled at my husband and me, I took the advice I was given and sent them a long text, which ended up being a bit of a ramble about everything. How fucked the situation is, how we're disgusted by their stance, and how we'll be going LC until we feel ready to be around them again. That was the day after my brother packed his bags and left. I was left on red and I thought that was that until a few days ago when I got a call from Laura. I thought about not answering, but curiosity got the better of me. When I picked up, Laura tried to make awkward small talk, but I think she sensed I wasn't in the mood and got right to it. She apologized for her behavior, said she had no excuse other than her hormones, and we ended up having a long chat about everything. By the end of it, I actually felt better and like we could get past it and work on our relationship. She also mentioned that she would still like for my family and me to come to her birthday dinner. It wasn't going to happen in a restaurant anymore. I guess the hotel stay ended up costing them a lot, as some of you predicted, and it was going to be at their house instead. I told her that I'd talk with my husband and get back to her. I also got a text from my brother apologizing and saying he was just trying to protect and stand by his wife. It was too soon to start mending things, as my husband pointed out, but he left the choice up to me. I honestly believed her apology because she had never acted like that before and she seemed actually ashamed of herself. Anyway, my sister, who was also apologized to because she also tore her a new one, and parents, who also got an apology, were also invited, but my sister's kids wanted a cousin's sleepover instead of going with us. So after talking it over with my sister, we agreed for them to have one at my house. My babysitters of a year are my next door neighbors. They're sweet and responsible 16-year-old twins who live with their single mom. They usually team up and take on my kids on date nights. There's a reason I'm mentioning this. With my sister's 2 added kids to the mix, I asked their mom if she was free to join their duo, and she agreed. So I called Laura and told her that Richard and I were coming. When we got to their house, Laura greeted my husband and me at the door. We handed her the gift and went in, but she seemed puzzled that we didn't have a trail of kids with us, so I reminded her that it's just us adults tonight. The same thing happened when my sister and her husband walked in. Dinner was awkward no matter how we tried to lighten up the mood, and the conversation was stilted at best, but I thought it was at least a step forward. Laura asked this time about why the kids were not with us, saying that she had made special food for them. I never mentioned the kids when I got back to her, just my husband and me, but I felt like it was my fault that I didn't clarify, so I apologized for it and thanked her for thinking of them. My sister chimed in that her kids and mine were having a cousin's sleepover tonight and how she was excited about our soon-to-be nephew joining them when he's here and older. Laura looked at her with a smile and said, "Yeah, I'm sure he'll be best friends with his cousins, as in my kids, and his step-cousins, as in my sisters." This pissed me off because we don't use step anything with the kids, but I bit my tongue. For context, my sister is technically my stepsister. I know I used stepdad in my first post. I usually call him by his first name. I consider him a parental figure since he raised me since I was 10, but I had a dad and the title will always be his. My sister gave her a hurt look, but it was my brother who nudged his wife with a weird look. A few minutes went by again with eating and light conversation before Laura asked again about our kids, mainly who was watching them since all 4 parents were here. I told her that my neighbor and her daughters were babysitting, to which she laughed and joked about how incompetent the girls and their mom must be to need all 3 of them to wrangle the kids. Also, for context, I have 4 kids. I'm biased and like to think they're well behaved, but they're sometimes too much for one person to handle, even me, and I'm the one that brought them into this world. Add my sister's 2 kids, and it's a lot for 2 teenage girls to handle, even for just a few hours. We left at 7 and said we'd be back at 11. It has absolutely nothing to do with the girls whom my kids adore, or their mom, who is as kind as they come. Before I could retort anything, my mom stepped in with one of her smiles and told Laura that it's so kind of her to offer her own competence and watch the kids next time. That shut her up real fast. After that, dinner was even more awkward until we cleared the table and Laura brought out dessert while my brother got the cake from the fridge. Here's where I lost the last of my remaining brain cells. I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, I saw my husband carrying my bag and trying to usher me out the front door to leave. He looked pissed, and I was beyond confused and obviously resisted because yes, the dinner was a train wreck, but let me at least say goodbye and give a lame excuse for our departure. When my husband tried to literally carry me out, I knew something was wrong, and after a couple of tries, I darted past him back to the dining room. Laura's now ready dessert table consisted of PB cake pops, PB pie, PB cookies, PB brownies, and to top it all off, a PB birthday cake that my brother brought in and was sniffing at with a horrified look. Laura then gave me a big smile and said loudly to my family, I thought I should at least get to have my cravings on my birthday, get your fill before she throws these out too. I honestly thought for a second that my sister was gonna tackle her, and I wasn't that far behind her because all I could think about was the fact that Laura thought my kids were coming and she planned this accordingly. I felt so guilty for allowing the stuff in our house the last time, and if my sister's kids hadn't wanted the sleepover, I was gonna walk my son into danger a second time. I lost my shit. Without thinking about my actions, I grabbed Laura's head, forced her to talk toward my brother, who I think was too shocked to react, and slammed her head straight into the cake. I held it down as long as I could while she flailed and told her I hope she chokes on her cravings before I let her go. I honestly wanted to go for the pie too, but I had embarrassed myself enough by acting like that in the first place, so I told my brother that I'm done with both him and his wife, and if they try to contact me or my family again, I'm filing for a protective order. Then I let my husband lead me out. My sister was cackling as she followed us with her husband, but our parents stayed back. I heard Laura screaming profanities after us, but my stepdad raised his voice, which shut her up. I got a lot of jokes about his frown on my first post, but the man is as stoic as they come. Him showing any emotion is a big deal. I remember that his frown alone growing up was enough to literally stop my sister and me in our tracks, because we knew if he gave us one, we had messed up. I haven't asked my mom what happened after we left because I can't handle any more heartache from my brother or his actions. I don't think this was the update anyone wanted, least of all me, but I'm completely done with both of them. Even though my brother looked like he had no idea, the stuff was in his house, happening under his damn roof. I'm sad I won't be in my nephew's life and my kids won't get to know the new cousin they've been waiting for, but I'd rather cry over that than over my son's life. I don't expect anyone to be kind in the comments. I'm 32, I shouldn't have been so naive, and I know I shouldn't have reacted like that, and I'm going to be dealing with that with my therapist along with the guilt I'm feeling, but please take it easy on me, I'm still shaken up. I'm also looking into family therapy for my kids so they can better process not having their uncle and aunt around after having them as a close presence in their lives. In the comments, user Fufu said, what a piece of work, and she made special food for the kids. Thank God the vulnerable child wasn't present. Under this comment, user Concrete Dandelion said, with the amount of peanuts in the room, the poor child might have had a fatal reaction before anyone even got to touch the intended murder weapons. Another user named JC the Wandering Crow said that monster was trying to kill her kid, probably by proving his allergies aren't really that big a deal. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.